Hello, this is Ms. DB. In this video, we are going to look at functions as graphs. So we will describe and read graphs of real-world data and determine if a relation is a function by looking at the graph. In this first section, you're going to match the description of a baby gaining or losing weight with the correct graph. So try to figure out which one would best match these things, and then you can just write A, B, or C after each description. All right, now we're going to talk about what a function is. A function is a relation that pairs each domain value with exactly one range value. No x value can be repeated with a different y value. So here we have an example of a function. On this side, these are functions. On this side, these are not functions. All right, so example, we have a set of coordinate points, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 8. Each x value is matched to one and only one y value. None of these x values repeat with a different y value. We can also look at it in a kind of a mapping form. And you can see that these are the elements of the domain on this side, and these are the elements of the range on this side. So our elements in our domain are paired with one and only one range value. That's very important. You can also look at them as graphs, like we will do more for this assignment. And you can see that each x value, if you look at them as being points, is paired with one and only one y value. And look at this table. Some people think this isn't a function because the y values repeat, but this is a function because each x value is paired with one and only one y value. It's perfectly fine for the x values to be paired with the same y value. It's okay for the y values to repeat. For the not a function section, we see here is the reason that this is not a function is because the x value of 3 is matched to two different y values. We have 3 going to 5 and 3 going to 8. So this is not a function because of that. In the second example, it's this part that makes it not be a function. The input of -2 is paired to two different outputs, both 1 and 2. So that fails our function test. In the graph, you can draw a vertical line, and if it goes through the graph in more than one place, it's not a function. That's called the vertical line test, and we'll use that a lot more in the future. So this is not a function because you can see that the x value of -2 was paired with two different y values. And then, of course, in the table form, we can see that this is not a function because there's x values that are paired to many different y values. This x value of 6 is matched to many different y values. This one over here would be a horizontal line if you were to graph this, if you were to plot it out on a coordinate graph. And a horizontal line is a function. This one over here, this would end up being a vertical line, and vertical lines are not function. Keep that in mind in your future. Vertical lines are not functions. They're lines, but they're not vertical lines. They're lines, but they're not functions. All right, here you're going to give your own example of a function in table form. Make sure that each x value is matched to one and only one y value. Then give an example of a relation that is not a function in table form. So repeat one of your x values going to two different y values, and then explain what you did that made it not be a function. For 7, 8, and 9, you only have to answer yes or no if it's a function. And that's the same in 10, 11, 12, and so on. So you only have to write yes, a function, or not a function. You don't have to do explanations for 7 through 12. Just be careful that you make sure you have the yes or no correct. Here's a couple that are graphed. And for these, you can, again, answer yes or no. And you can use the vertical line test if you have a graph. In 15, there's a graph, so again, you could use the vertical line test to check if you have a function. All right, let's look at number 16. 16 says an electrician charges a base fee of $75 plus 50 for each hour of work. Now, in the last worksheet, we practiced writing functions from rules, but I've already written this one out for you. So you're going to create a table that shows how much the electrician charges for 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours of work, just like in your last worksheet. X will represent the hours and Y will be the amount charged. And then you'll make your table here. Don't forget to answer this question, is the relation a function? And then you can either make the graph on here using the word tools, or if you printed this out, you can do it, of course, by hand. But you could also do it with Sketchpad or Desmos. So you always have the option of using technology in order to make your graphs. So here's Desmos. I have it open. So you can make a table in Desmos so that it would look just like this table by clicking on the plus sign and going to table. Let me show you something else. I'm going to go back here. You can write the equation in here too. Y equals 75 plus 50x. And it will graph a line for you, which is going to not be the right, this isn't the right window that we want to look at because it starts at negatives and I can't even see how much it would cost for like 1 hour. So you can change what you're looking at, the window, by going to graph settings. I want my x-axis to only show positive numbers, and I need my y-axis, it's the cost of course starts at 0. I need it to go up higher because he's making some money here. Let's go up to like 300, and then we can adjust if we need to. So now when you look at, you'll see that you can see what's happening, so it's better. But I still wanted to see a table of values here. I'm going to replace this with y1 and x1. Then I'm going to add a table, and I want these to be x1 and y1 too. I'm going to try this and see if it works. Maybe I have to have the table first and then the y values. So my first x value should be 1. I think it was 1, wasn't it? For 1 hour of work. It won't let me do it. What's the error? X1 and Y1 can't be defined in terms of each other. Okay. All right, so 1, and then 75 plus 50 times 1 would be, what, 125? And there's the point there. What I wanted to do was put the points on and then make the line go right through the points. But I guess the line will go through the points as long as you put your points on here. And then you can write the equation of the line if you decide that this should be a continuous function. And then you add values to your table just by clicking enter, and then you can move around the table and add what you need to add. So then you can also write the equation in so that you can get the line graphed on top of it if you decide this should be a continuous function with a line through the points. And then when you're done with your Desmos graph, after you've got your table done, you've got your line done, then you can share that graph with me quite easily in Desmos. So let me show you how to do that. So once you get all of your work the way you want it, you click on this arrow key and it's share graph. It will generate a link and you can copy that. And then you can come here to your worksheet. Oops, let me see where I can get this in. I'll just put it up here. And I can paste it, Control V, and then hit the space bar 1 time, and that makes it a live link so that I can just click on it to follow it and find your graph. So that's a really nice way of using Desmos can do that so that you can make your graph using technology and then just send me this link You can also make the graph in Sketchpad, and in Sketchpad you can save your file and attach it. Is there just one? No, there's two graphs at the end that are based on real world data, so actual data, and you're just going to answer a couple questions. There's one optional that's a double graph here. And that's it. So let me know if you have any questions or any problems and you want to work together, and have a great day.